So the gift this week is the gift of public witness. And I, as an ordained Presbyterian minister, crawled under my desk and cried. Because that makes me think of evangelism. And well, we Presbyterians always cringe a little bit with that word. It's kind of a dirty word. Ooh, evangelism. You want me to go talk to people about my faith? Cool. I can not do that. Never felt comfortable with it. I've told some of you the story of when I was on a mission trip to Alaska between my junior and senior year of college. I was with the Campus Crusade for Christ, and we lived up there in Juneau. And what we were to do was to proselytize. Every weekend after we were done working, they would give us a bunch of pamphlets and send us into downtown Juneau to convert the masses. And the masses typically were cruise boat passengers who are stopping off in Juneau, and you really want to ruin someone's holiday. You ask them, do you know about Jesus Christ? And they go, yes, but I'm going to go buy that thing over there. Bye. Never liked it. In fact, I disliked it so much that I couldn't even do it. I threw the pamphlets in the trash. I did. Me and my buddy John threw the pamphlets in the trash and then went to the bar and hung out with, it was called the Mad Dog Saloon, and hung out with all these big, burly bikers. We played pool with them, and one day they were like, wait. You them Jesus kids. And I was like, busted. And we were like, yeah, we're those Jesus kids. And they were like, what are you doing in the bar with us? And we were like, darts, pool, hanging out, having a nice time. And they're like, oh, okay. Well, we started to build this very organic, odd relationship with these, I don't know, the people who we're all afraid of or we're uncomfortable around. Well, so then we would have events that we're supposed to bring the people that we have proselytized to, that we've converted. And when you hand someone a pamphlet, Todd, do you know Jesus Christ? And then Todd sits with me for a little bit. He reads the pamphlet, and he's like, yeah, I'm good. Get out of here. And we, yeah, sure, we'll pray. And then he sends me on my way, like, Todd is not coming to my fish fry later. He's like, the guy was, I just tried to get him out of here. So we're at the fish fry. We've caught all this halibut, and we're doing our thing. And off in the distance, you hear, and I'm like, came. And Sean's like, they came. We were in so much trouble because our secret was out. We were throwing the pamphlets away and going to the bar. Well, there was just this group of Campus Crusade kids and about 25 bikers. And I mean like stereotype, leather jacket, big beard, kind of scary. And we had this great meal. We had this great time. And afterwards, all of the other people who were really bought into this idea of evangelism, the speaking of it, the converting, said, why did they all come? I said, because they're my friends. Well, why are they your friends? Because I hung out with them. Because I invested in them. I heard their stories. I heard their struggles. The leader was a recovering meth addict. He didn't know his kids. Spent time in jail. Made a lot of bad decisions. But he had cleaned up his life, and he was leading. I mean, he was like I think some sort of steel worker. Oh, you know all that about him? Yeah, that's what we did. Evangelism. Being the salt of the earth. Evangelism isn't a dirty four-letter word. Public witness is not a dirty, bad word. It's not. It just needs reorienting. We take evangelism back. We let our lives, our saltiness, be evangelism. We let our light shine. That's evangelism. That's public witness. What we do, who we are in this world, that's the gift of public witness. It's not just the gift of public witness for me because I'm living out the call, but it's the gift for someone else. Jesus says, go let your light shine so that others see it, not so they can glorify you, but so that they can glorify God. Some of the best moments in mission works was when people didn't understand why we were there doing the thing that I was doing. And that's when you get the chance to say, because Jesus. Because God. I'm doing this wonderful thing because I trust in a God who is ever present, who redeems and sustains me. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm doing this good thing. Be the salt. Be the salt, Jesus says. I think this is one of those pieces of Scripture that's really good because I think we all cook for the most part. We don't all go buy our food all the time. We do some cooking. And the more cooking I've done in my life, the more kitchen time I've spent. I recently got a smoker. And then they're like, man, if you're going to smoke pork, you got to hammer the salt on there. And I'm like, well, because salt needs it. It boils out the flavor, and it pulls that flavor, and it pulls the flavor out of everything else. You need the salt. I never understood until maybe a few years ago. I watched my grandma baking. She salted the cookies. Why do you put salt in the chocolate chip cookies? That's gross. It wasn't much salt, it was just enough. It was just enough. Bethany made these chocolate brownie cookies, salted, a little bit of salt. You catch it and then you get that sweetness it's fantastic. That's the beauty of salt. We've been told, and rightfully so, especially me, I'm on blood pressure medicine, so I can't have a lot, which is okay, probably shouldn't. Bad for me, but the right amount is good because it brings out the other things. It brings it out. It pulls out that flavor. It pulls the garlic. It pulls the chocolate. It draws it out into a bolder, better expression. Salt makes things better. Too much salt, yes, indeed, doesn't work very well. But Jesus says, be the salt. You are the salt. You are the salt. Go make things taste better. Go make things better. Your presence should pull the better out of others. Your presence, our presence, should pull the goodness, the decency, the civility, the love, the kindness, the compassion. Pull it out of all of us. I've been thinking all week because I haven't been at my office. So in my driving from Presbytery event to meetings with other pastors to all these other things that I've been doing, not in the office, what does it mean to be salt? What does it mean to step into a room full of people and to be the salt? What does it mean to step into a room full of conflicted people at a Presbytery meeting, to be the salt in that? What does it mean to step into a room full of people who are recovering addicts and be the salt? What does it mean to step into a group of people who are poverty-stricken, who are broken, to be the salt? What does it mean to step into the lives of one another, maybe good, maybe broken relationships, maybe struggles, and to be the salt? What does that look like? What does that mean for us? Here's the first thing. And I think it's the first thing I learned. And I learned it in Alaska. Was to listen to people. Not listen because I want to have a debate with Barb. This is the problem. We listen with the intent to respond. This is where we are as a society. I'm going to listen so that I can respond to tear down your argument. Or I'm going to not actually listen. I'm going to hear you and then just say what I was going to say anyways. We have to listen to people. Because when we listen to people, when we hear where they're coming from, when we hear those stories of parents whose children's lives were cut short because of gun violence. When we hear those, listen to them. Listen to their broke and their hurt and their heartache. Hear it. Respect it. Listen to it. Hold it up. Try to figure out how to step into it and live with them in that. Now, that's not any sort of political thing I'm saying about gun violence right now. But if we listen to them, empathetic, what would it look like? Instead of immediately jumping to the other side of any sort of debate. I'm going to jump over here. No, I got to keep this. Or I got to do that. But hear them. Hear those people who struggle with mental illness. Really listen. Really hear them. And then see how to enable, to build, to pick up. It starts there. It starts with knowing and hearing. Because when we do, we build this beautiful thing that I think Jesus was all about, compassion and empathy. And we're able to put ourselves in those shoes and think for a minute outside of our unobjective context. We've lost objectivity. I was sitting with a parent yesterday at a wrestling meet, Chuck Cole, whose kids no longer wrestle, and he goes, the crowd was like, boo, that was a terrible goal, how was he stalling, and they're all screaming, and this parent was like, actually, objectively, since I don't have a dog in this fight, that totally wasn't stalled. And it was like, oh. He's like, it's really incredible when you don't have a kid in it. You can be objective. I think there's something to be said to that when we listen. When we put ourselves here, it's easier to be objective and not just take our thing and then just shove it on someone else and say, this is the thing. This is the way it should be. It has to be. We can't be salt if we can't listen. We can't be salt if we're not able to be empathetic and compassionate, to seek to understand. We can't be salt. We can't be with another person. We don't listen. Being salt is about making one another better. Better. And that's done through being with people. Coming alongside them, hearing their struggles, hearing their joys, and being with them. That's what our Christian community is about. With one another. I'll tell you a quick story about what I believe is about a saltiness as a gift. I don't know how many years ago it was. Four denominations wandered into Pakistan to convert. Let's just be honest, that's what we're there to do. Presbyterians, I believe Episcopals or Church of England, Catholics, and then Methodists. So they got together in a little group, and they said, listen, let's do it this way. Let's split this country into 4. And then you stay in your region, don't try to come over here and convert mine, and I won't convert yours, and we'll just make a difference. So the Presbyterians, the Methodists, and the Catholics, and I think Episcopals, but I might be wrong there. Well, 3 of those 4 chose to go. At this time, Pakistan was very classist divided. The lower class was called the untouchables. And that is what it means. Don't speak to them, don't look at them. If I associate with them, then I will get their stain upon me of untouchableness. So the 3 of the denominations go to the upper echelon. And they say, here's this message of hope and joy, and the upper echelon says, it's for the poor. They don't get much out of it. One, us, the Presbyterians, went to the untouchables and began to walk alongside them and listen to them and hear what they needed. And they said, what we need is food and education. And in the listening, they said, all right. Started building schools. And within like 15 to 20 years, they weren't just schools, but they were the best schools in the entire country of Pakistan. They were so good that the government came in about 30 years after they were built and took them. They got those schools back in 2003, I think, or 2001. They are still the best schools in the country, above and beyond. So what's happened? Here's the saltiness. Is that now the rich really want to be in those schools. Really, really want to be in those schools because what that offers, and the rich are mostly Muslims, they want to be in those schools because it offers their kids a chance to potentially get into American universities where they can become doctors and lawyers and all of that stuff. But here's the thing. The untouchables, the former untouchables, are still in those schools. They're on scholarships and they're on other things based on giving from places. That's part of what your per capita goes to. Hey, there you go. That $38 that you guys give in your giving goes to the presbytery, and the presbytery then kicks that on to the pastor school, which is, I have more information on it if you like that. Anyhow, what's happened is this divide, this untouchable divide has shrunk. And in regions where these pastoral schools, these Presbyterian schools are, there's no more untouchable. And the Muslim kids come home and their parents are talking ill about these poor Christians or whatever. And they say, Dad, we don't speak like that about our friends. There's no issue to convert. There's none of that. There's just this through education and listening and walking alongside. The whole society and regions of this country have changed. Because some people went and listened and were with. That's the salt. They made it better. We make one another better. How do we make one another better? Do we engage in systems of anger and resentment and hate and those things, or do we choose joy and hope? These are choices. Every day we wake up, we choose to be salty or not. And I know salty means angry, but let's take it back and say let's choose to be salty. We choose it when we go to work, when we go to school, when we go to play, when we're just generally out. In our daily lives, we can choose to be salty, to be the salt of the earth. We said it all the time, and it might be just maybe a really southern thing, but these old guys, all gone now. Sorry. The salt of the earth was the comment we always made. Because they were as good as it got. Because they made us all better. With their wisdom and their knowledge, with their ears and their hopes and their dreams for us all. We have to inspire, not bring down. We have to push and drive one another forward. John Quincy Adams said, if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, become more, then you are a leader. Are we inspiring? Are we inspiring? Or has our saltiness lost its flavor and is trampled? Brothers and sisters, we have the opportunity to daily change the world. Every day. In little bits. We talk about this all the time, Bethany and I do. She says, we get kind of downtrodden because it's like all this stuff that needs to be done in our world and fixed and whatnot. And then we get kind of overwhelmed, but what if all of us just did one or two simple things every day to be salt, to make others better, then it's big. It doesn't take one of us doing massive things, but all of us doing lots of little things. Brothers and sisters, go be salty. Go be salty for this whole world, because we need more salt. We need more of us making us better. Go forth to be the salt. Amen.